of Intelligence Assistant Officer in the Department of Computer Science. Now we're going to discuss on the topics of website basics and the subject called full stack development. So what we're going to discuss is like website basics, like HTML, files, CSS, and then web to control in this series. Next series we're going to learn about none. So none stack is so what is input text control, which are used to collect users' data as a free text. On the webpage, it will be from a rectangular box, whereas users can type input. So here it shows an example like first name that will be followed by input text. So this is particularly called text control. So here we have informed that form. Within form tag, you have printed like first name. The first name is printed in the particular website. So it's followed by input type text. So what is the input type? It's going to be a submit button, or it can be a text, or it can be a list. So as we have discussed, so what will be the name of the particular text? Whatever text inside you have inside in this particular text, the name of the particular text will be the first name. So in the database, the first name contains one first name types in us as we have discussed. So input element can be displayed in several ways depending on the type of attribute. So as we have first here it is text. You can text labels. You can create whatever it may be. For labels, labels like the elements defines the label for several form elements. So the label element is useful for a screen reader. So screen reading users, right? Some readers are like screen reader because the screen reader will be read out loud. The label when the user focus on the input element. So the label elements also help users to have the difficulty by clicking on very small regions such as like checkboxes or any radio buttons. Because when the user clicks the text within the label, like elements, it toggles the radio buttons or a checkbox. The for attribute of the label tag should be equals to the ID attribute so of the particular input element. So for is directly equals to the particular ID attribute, whereas for attribute is for label and ID attribute is for input. So input element to bind them together. So next we use something like select. So select element defines a particular drop down list. So the options, we give some options like select will be the first one, then followed by some options. Whenever you have some options like when you go for some state names and then college names, you go for something like department names. So you will give some options like CSE, CSE, IT. So these are the departments. So you will give some options. So followed by that option element defines an options that can be selected. By default, the first item in the drop-down list is selected. To define a pre-selected option, add the selected attribute to the option. So visible values are like nothing but use a size attribute to specify the number of visible values. So what you can say that like values are nothing but options will be followed by values. So what are the visible values like CSE as I discussed, CSE, CSE and I. These are all the visible values. So inside that option value, you will prefer what are all the elements which are all visible. So multi-line input text control. Those input control types allow the user to enter data of multiple lines. So when, for example, text areas, which is nothing but when you discuss on addresses, right? So it cannot be a single line. So something like addresses, when you go for some textbook names, or you can prefer for something, what are the knowledges you have, some commands, feedbacks, when you just throw this, it could not be in a single. So for that kind of things, like text areas, which is typically, as I have mentioned, typically usage of such input controls is for commands, addresses, descriptions. So these are like the particular single rectangular box could be in big size. So that we call it as an text area. So it has some rows and columns. Whenever you discuss something in a database, so it has some rows and columns. We already know what is rows and columns, right? So rows also to specify the visible number of lines in